All right, welcome back everyone to the SU Gang podcast. It's been a bit, but we're here. It's the middle of summer. It's actually been a pretty big week for football fans because college football 25 a few days ago, all the YouTubers got it, and yesterday was the first official day that people who pre-ordered the deluxe edition could get it. So there's like 500,000 people playing that right now. I'm probably going to get a console for it. That's literally how excited I am. I'm about to start some dynasties. It's about to be great, and you can import it to Madden 25. So that's exciting. And on another note, the MLB All Stars happened. We're on the All Star break. Trade deadline for baseball's also almost here, and training camp for the NFL starting. So
Getting
we're kind of
excited.
rejuvenating some sports news. So yeah, also SMU, Stanford, and Cal just joined the ACC, so that's going to be very interesting, and I'm pretty excited. We're going to be playing Syracuse sometime, so it'll be pretty cool. But without further ado, we'll get into things. So I guess first up is baseball. We just heard probably the worst national anthem I have ever heard. I think it actually makes Fergie sound good from 2016 NBA. So yeah, you heard that now, right? You watched it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything about that.
Oh man.
Um, yeah, that was a good home run derby. I can't believe Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, look, he's good, but I just didn't expect that. Bobby Witt Jr. was like 1 foot short of winning it. That was kind of sucked. Especially if any Bobby Witt Jr. fans that might have bet on him, man, they lost a crap ton of money because that must suck. Um, Today's the All Star game. There are some guys that I think deserved it to be in it over others. Like, and this is not trying to be biased for my team, but there's some pitchers that have worse stats than Justin Steele, and they still made it over him, which kind of is outrageous. Michael Bush, our first baseman, also had better offensive stats than some guys like Pete Alonso. No disrespect to Pete Alonso or the Mets. The Mets are they've been obviously good, but statistically, it's been proven that our first baseman is not only younger but better offensively than theirs. And we have a couple better pitchers, and I believe that we should have had we had a couple guys snubbed. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just an all-star game. What's they really gonna do?
That's fair. That's fair.
And I mean, for the Giants, Heliot Ramos didn't make it, which he should have.
It was deserved.
Um, I think who else could have been missing?
There was
Uh,
one other person, but I'm blanking for some reason. I'm stupid right now. Oh yeah,
uh,
well obviously Logan Webb and like Helliott
Logan Webb.
was like also top five for a little bit, and he sometimes has shined when our team hasn't. We did win the Twin Series before the All-Star break. The third game of that was very slow offensively outside of when we were up 2-0. We had a bit of a heart attack at the end. Camilo Doval, he sometimes gives us that. When he came in, they got 2 runs and tied it up, and then we clutched it up. But Blake Snell had a very, very good day. I'm happy to see him back. So that was pretty good. I mean, he was striking guys out. There was only one guy to first base, and that was like I think in the seventh inning or something,
Yeah, I
and
think he had like
Giants fans
seven
were clapping it up.
innings, eight
Yeah,
strikeouts, 7 innings.
yeah.
And he allowed like 4 hits. So he did pretty good. And that's good because getting that major contract and being injured, people are starting to question it. But
Oh yeah, absolutely.
maybe he'll get maybe that's like just a game that'll get him back on track. We'll see. Um,
Hopefully. And we need it because the NL West is getting interesting. The Padres originally had a bit of a gap when it came to the wild card race in that division, but I'm not saying they're going in a slump because they're not, but they're close to 500 again, and the Diamondbacks have also been getting hot. And we did have a good run, but now we're like starting to get close to like we won the Twins series, which was important, but we lost the Blue Jays series, which sucked. But if the Padres keep losing a bit, and same with the Diamondbacks, then this division's about to get really interesting for the wild card. I mean, the NL is already really interesting as a whole, but if the Padres can just continue to fall a little bit more, would be very nice. We
Yeah,
do have
yeah,
two Rockies series coming up and the Dodgers, so hopefully some opportunities for wins there. And I did go to some baseball games recently. I went to a Blue Jays game, game two, and I went to the Minnesota Twins game one. So that was pretty cool to see. And there's a small chance I might go to the Rockies doubleheader on the 27th. So
nice.
that's going to be pretty lit. But we travel
Mm,
to Colorado and LA next, and then we play Colorado at home. So hopefully some wins there.
yeah, that's nice. We
You
we've
guys have been
been,
hot lately.
yeah. I really hope that we come back. That sweep versus the Orioles was really, really, really good. I mean, I wouldn't have expected that. But like, not only did we sweep them, every single game that we beat them in, we blew them out. Like
Yeah, that was
that was
crazy.
we were blowing them out. And so basically, they have arguably the best offense in the entire league, and they only scored 2 runs off of us the entire series. We outscored them 29-2. It was freaking crazy. And the Cardinals series, it was also pretty solid. We were able to split with them, which was huge. Like coming into this week, I was like, we need to go 5-2 if we want to have any hope for the playoffs. And they kept the season alive. If they would have lost yesterday, been I would have been a little dead inside. But um, huge. We also beat the Angels last weekend, which I know that was, it's the Angels, but still that was a good starting point to try to get hot, and then sweeping the Orioles, beating the Cardinals, or splitting with the Cardinals, but you're still able to get a fair share of wins. So
I thought y'all
it
won that series. Oh no, wait, I was just looking at the last three
was a
games, right?
doubleheader. It was a
Got it.
doubleheader we
Okay.
lost, but we won the
Okay.
other games. Yeah,
That's good.
so
That's good.
overall, a pretty solid stretch, like pretty solid 10 days from us, which is huge. Mind you, the Cardinals series, we didn't even have our best pitchers in. So we had our best pitchers in the Orioles series. So, that's kind of why we won.
Yeah.
But we
Orioles,
have
that you just made the AL interesting because the Yankees, well, actually, the Orioles and Yankees have the same wins, and the Guardians also have 58. So that's just going to be interesting. And the Yankees, even though they blew that last game versus the Orioles, they won the first two. So that's going to be really interesting.
yeah, they won that series. Um, we play the Diamondbacks. We have our best pitchers going against the Diamondbacks. We have
Please
Imanaga, we have
beat the
Steele.
Diamondbacks. Please beat the Diamondbacks. It would be so
Yeah,
awesome.
we need to, um, for our sake too.
The
Um,
Padres also are kind of in the middle of a tougher stretch, which is why they have again not slumping, losing a bit. They faced the Braves where they lost that series 2-1, and then they have the Guardians next. The Nationals is a series they probably can win, but then they play the Orioles and Dodgers, so they got some tougher opponents up.
yeah, we got a tough schedule too. We played the Orioles, which look, maybe beating the Orioles might have been like a confidence booster, but coming back from the All-Star break, we have the Diamondbacks, we have the Brewers, we have the Royals, we have the Reds, and those four opponents are the determining factor of what we're gonna do at the trade deadline. Are we gonna sell? Are we gonna buy? Um, are we gonna stay put? It all depends. I want to buy. I think that we have like a top three farm system in the league. I think that we have a lot of good young players. You know, this farm system is very deep. So I feel like we can afford to trade off some players. Now, do I think we should be in this position every year? No, because we have one of the highest payrolls in all of baseball, so we should be able to like spend more in the offseason. And not to say that we didn't do anything in the offseason. We signed Shody Minaga, we got Michael Bush. Those are some really good moves, but we clearly didn't do enough. And going into the season, I thought we could do good, but we didn't do enough. And you got to be aggressive in free agency, and clearly they weren't aggressive enough. And they do this where it's like, okay, well, we're gonna do this at the trade deadline. Well, it's like you could have done this in free agency. That we don't got to worry about it as much. I mean, you could still buy at the trade deadline, but you wouldn't have to worry about necessarily sacrificing a little bit and not getting anything in return and not making the playoffs potentially. So I really hope that we can buy at the trade deadline. We need a catcher, but I don't know if I want rentals right now because you got Danny Jansen available and you got Elias Diaz from the Rockies available. Um, let's take a look at Danny Jansen's numbers.
Danny Jansen.
I'm looking.
All right.
So right now he currently has 223 batting average, 6 home runs. His OPS is a 707. So yeah, he has some slug. He has some good defense too. I don't know if I necessarily want him like other Cubs fans do, but we'll see. The Blue Jays haven't been good, so maybe they'll sell him. And then Elias Diaz is someone that I'm also really intrigued about and someone I want to get. He's batting 286 with 5 home runs. He has an OPS at 733, OPS plus at 100. He's doing really good. He made an All-Star game last year. You can argue that he should have made an All-Star game this year with the Rockies. And he's getting on the older side, so I don't know how much the Rockies are going to want him. And if the Cubs want to try to fight for a playoff spot and they know that they need some more offensive they know that they need some more offensive power, I think they should go after a guy like him. Now, if you want to go after a big boy name like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. or Luis Robert, that would be big time. That would help us, but we just need to lock in. We need to lock in next 2 weeks. They did a good job these last 10 days. They did a really good job. I'll give them that, but we'll see. And then with the Giants, now I know you're kind of new to like trade deadline stuff. But I just want to take a look at their I want to take a look at their farm system rankings to see if they should sell or buy. Because if they can win over the next couple of weeks, I think that'll convince you that they should be aggressive in free agency and be like, okay, fuck it, we're gonna make an aggressive move so that we can go after that playoff spot.
It's true.
They have the 20 they rank 21st in the farm system, which but if the Giants are really serious these next couple weeks, I honestly I think you should sacrifice, you know, giving away some of your top prospects. I know that doesn't sound very pleasing. If you don't do good these next couple weeks and you say, hey, we want to start over, we want to rebuild, we want to build up that farm system for the future, then that's that. I don't think the Giants are in that position right now to be rebuilding, especially with the kind of payroll that they have. I feel like their payroll's too high. They're too high of a market to be rebuilding at this point. But that's just my thoughts upon the trade deadline, which is coming in a couple weeks, and that's going to be huge for a lot of teams, especially the Yankees too. I mean that's like
Yeah.
the main team. I feel like if Bobby was on here, I feel like he would have a lot of thoughts because the Yankees, there's no question they're going to get guys at the trade deadline. Just it just all depends who.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I kind of agree with you about the Giants. I feel like sometimes they look completely outmatched, but other times they're good. It's just like it's more just a consistency thing. I don't know
Hmm.
if they'll be as aggressive. We'll just see what happens. They have an opportunity to win big here. That Blue Jay series sucked because we were leading, and then the sixth inning or seventh inning was just a complete disaster, and we got two garbage home runs. It should have been a 10-4 loss realistically. That
Yeah.
game too. Camilo sometimes gives heart attacks, but sometimes he's been good. It's just interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
We have a mix. Like sometimes we look like we're completely outmatched. Sometimes we can clutch up. We'll see what happens from here, I'd say.
We'll see. We'll see how aggressive you are. Maybe you get guys like that can. Maybe you'll trade the farm and impact guys that'll impact you for years, or you just want to try to win this year and get some rentals for the year, like rentals, as in just like guys
Mm.
that can impact you for the rest of the season. Maybe you re-sign them in the off season. Um, we'll see how likely that is. But
Which
yeah.
guys do you think we would realistically like sacrifice if we were to do that?
Ooh. Well, I Carson Wentz Hunt. He seems really good. He's your best prospect. If you guys are gonna go big time, I don't know how. I don't know if you're really gonna do that. As a matter of fact, I think he's low key untouchable. He's a left-handed pitcher. Um, he's 6'3". He was drafted 2 years ago. Um, eh, he looks pretty solid. He has around a 95-ish mile per hour fastball. That's pretty good. Um, he approaches hitters in low 80s miles per hour when he throws his changeups, which could be a recipe for success. He had a 2.45 ERA in 16 starts in the minor leagues. That is really good. That is really good.
Wait, what,
Um,
what ERA?
2.45. That's a
Mm.
really good ERA. Um, I don't know. I don't know if you, I don't know if you, I don't know. I don't know if you trade him. I don't know. I don't know if you give him up. Bryce Eldridge, he's also. I mean, he's only 19. I don't know. Like he's probably going to take him some time before the Giants call him up. But if the Giants are looking for a rental guy, maybe they trade him. But then again, he's like really freaking good, and
Hmm.
I mean, he's got a lot of. Let's take a look at his numbers. He's batting 294 with a 905 OPS, 6 home runs, 18 RBI. Let's see last season. 273, 826. So, hey man, I don't know, maybe Marco Luciano. I've heard a lot about him. Now, this year he has had a down year. He's only batting 231 and OPS is 641. But maybe if you're looking to get a rental off of him and some team is looking to like develop him, even though he's had his struggles this year, maybe you give him away. Now, if it comes back and bites you, at this point, I would just say it is what it is. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on on
Mm.
on your on your guys's.
Did you see Paul Skenes? Maybe I'm like the stats misleading, but or wrong because again I'm a little newer, but it said Paul Skenes hasn't lost a game since May 2020 like three.
He's literally insane.
And it was with LSU. Yeah, that man is insane. He has a 1.91 ERA. He throws like 95, 100. It's his first year. He got called up in 10 months. He is actually insane.
this is like actually unreal. I don't want to sound like I'm glazing, but like it's literally like he's destined to make the Hall of Fame at this point. And I know it's only his rookie year. No, I've never seen. It's not. I've never seen. No rookie's ever done what he's doing. No rookie's ever started in the All Star game as a pitcher. Maybe as an offensive player, but not as a pitcher. And this guy might win Cy Young his first year. This guy might win Rookie of the Year. He started the All-Star game. He's on pace to win Cy Young. That's three things in his rookie year. His rookie year. And he throws 100. That's four things. But what's the fifth? He has
He
lightning.
broke yeah, and he has a cool mustache. That's the other part. Cool mustache. He broke the single season strikeout record, 209, finished 13-2 with two complete games.
He's literally insane. I mean, and the fact that it only took
He
him
hasn't
one.
lost since he was at LSU. That's crazy.
Dude, it literally took him less than a calendar year to get called up to the big leagues. You know how insane that is? That's freaking crazy. Like he's destined. He's destined to make the Hall of Fame. Destined. I mean, there's no way that he doesn't, in my opinion. Like he's
That
literally
guy, I'm a casual, but I already know that guy's winning in life. He's winning.
he's insane.
I hope he keeps it up. I mean, I guess for your sake, kind of a no, because the Pirates are in your division, but like you
Yeah,
respect him.
bro. I hope the Yankees like just. I hope the Yankees find a way. Honestly,
To get him.
people. Yeah, so that he can be out of the
I mean,
conference.
I mean, yeah, but will the Pirates like really do that though? He's gonna be I think he's gonna
No,
stay there. He won't be a free
he's
agent
gonna be
till
there
like
forever.
2029, 2030, bro. The Pirates do
No,
not want to give that guy up right now,
no,
unless you like
he's untouchable. There's no way they're trading him. But if
if
there
the
was
Yan
some way,
if the Yankees get him, bro, Bobby would go nuts.
dude, if there was some way that the Pirates general manager could be under the influence for a night, for one night at the trade deadline, if he could be under the influence, right, and then the Yankees go out there and call him while he's not sober, and he trades away Paul Skenes, I'd be the happiest human, because this is honestly just dealing with him in our division is honestly just as bad as dealing with Aaron Rodgers. I know that sounds outrageous, but
It could keep up.
it's
You never
literally
know.
it's
And
literally like
Jordan
it's
Love.
yeah, but at this point it's just it's honestly it's worse than dealing with Jordan Love. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
completely honest.
Okay. Um, let's do a little bit of NFL now. Let's see. So training camp is starting for the rookies within the next day or two. I think Buffalo's is today, Seattle's is tomorrow. I just looked it up.
Bears
I
is
have
today.
oh yeah. Some are today, some are tomorrow. I mean, we'll see. To be honest, have been not entirely following as much, but I think like three Seahawks rookies can make an impact. Obviously, Byron Murphy. That's the first obvious one, but I think Tyrese Knight could be pretty good because we have Jerome Baker and like Dotson as our linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
That was obviously a big hole we tried to fill in free agency, and Dotson is like he has good stats, right? Don't get me wrong, but he also hasn't played a lot for Buffalo. So I think Knight could be a guy who could potentially slide in there and make an impact. So I am pretty excited to see the potential. Also, like we led the NFC in sacks for a while, and we have Byron Murphy now, and Uchenna Nwosu was not healthy. Imagine those two, Boye Mafe, Darrell Taylor, Jaron Reed, like I'm telling you right now, if Mike McDonald can just bring 70% of what he did in Baltimore, we're gonna go freaking crazy on defense, man. And on top of that, like it could be a defense that finally makes the Niners like be vulnerable. I will do so much if we can just split with them this year. And he embarrassed them on Christmas Day. So
Yeah.
we can see, man. We can see. I really hope he is the guy that can make our offense like be vulnerable. Now, in terms of defensive play calling, it's a little unknown whether the Cowboys defensive pass game coordinator or he will be making the call. In a press conference, he said that would be like a closer, time decision. But I
Yep.
really hope he widely has play calling, kind of like a Sean McDermott role. Ryan Grubb gets me excited. I
Yeah.
think the top three guys to look out for that could make a bigger leap are our tight ends being schemed open. A lot of people shit on Shane Waldron for this, but this was a problem before Shane Waldron came. We don't use our tight ends as much. It was a thing since 2019 under Brian Schottenheimer too. Like they have a solid role, but we could increase our production value out of our tight ends for sure. I think JSN could make the leap to hopefully 900 yards and like 7 to 9 touchdowns. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get 1,000 just because we have Tyler Lockett and DK, but I'm really hoping he can help
Yep.
unlock JSN. JSN, like, listen, he never was going to be an offensive rookie of the year, but 628 yards was not bad. And the 4 touchdowns he got were very clutch. In fact, 3 of them were game winners, or 2 of them. The
Yep.
ones I remember are
Versus
the
the
Browns one
Browns.
and the Eagles. Like, this guy, I saw a stat prediction he could get 900 yards and like 9 touchdowns. I don't know about 9 touchdowns, but I could see him making a big impact. I hope DK can get back to his 1.3K yard time. And then K9-2 is another guy. I feel like we need to use him on more outside runs, and I feel like he and Charbonnet could be a really good 1-2 punch duo. We just need a consistent offensive line, and maybe like hopefully we improve to actually running where it better fits him because he averages over 5 yards a carry when we do stretch outside runs, but we've done like 70% inside runs where K9 gets like 2 to 3 yards a carry. So like I just hope Ryan Grubb can cook. I mean, he was the OC of a national championship team that made it there. So I'm hoping he can replicate that success. And I wish the best of luck for Shane Waldron. He's way better than Luke Getsy. I just think he sometimes has a bit of his limits, but like he's going into a very talented offense, and I think he will help the Bears make the next step.
Yeah.
I just
I
hope he uses y'all's tight ends because I mean, it wasn't just a problem under Shane Waldron. I feel like Seattle has been a team that hasn't used the full potential of their tight ends.
yeah. I mean, with Cole Kmet, and Cole Kmet's already proven that he's really good. So I think Shane Waldron will be aware that Cole Kmet. I mean, no, like bias aside, I think he's a top 10 tight end in this league. I think he's like 10 or 9. He's proven like every year his stats just get better and better and better. Like he's only been on the rise up. So I think that Shane Waldron's aware of that. Um,
Yeah, he's kind of like
I
he
mean,
reminds me of CD Lamb, honestly. Well, besides the touchdowns, but he increased his receptions and yards every year.
mhm,
Yeah, and Everett will be a solid veteran. I
yeah,
kind of haven't been keeping track of him as much since he left Seattle, but we'll see. I think he was
he's
solid
like a
for the
400-yard,
Chargers.
great touchdown guy, maybe. Like usually, that's pretty solid, especially going into a tight end too. He's a tight end
Mm.
one worthy guy, not like top of the
He
league,
had
but
a good
still.
2022 year, 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, 58 catches. That was his best year.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, he'll
and
be a
he's gonna
great
be a
tight
tight
end
end
too for
too.
y'all.
Yeah, Kokomet. Yeah, I think Shane Waldron would be very aware. Or at least I hope. And
And you guys
and
have a
if
good
not,
safety valve if Keenan gets hurt for Romo Dunze. I could see him having a JSN like season just because he's behind 2 really good guys. But if Keenan gets hurt, you guys have a good number 2 who can
Roman
flourish.
Dunze, yeah, Roman
Just don't
Dunze.
expect him to be offensive rookie of the year, but I think he
Yeah,
can still get
no,
you guys like 600 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns, and if anything, there's a potential for him to do more than that because of the fact that you guys have Keenan, who will either do really great or maybe he'll do average or maybe he'll get injured. But either way, like you guys aren't like screwed.
and if he has some like route running struggles or something like with the against real NFL corners, then he can just Keenan and DJ are there. They're very
Yeah.
experienced, so that's also the great thing about being a wide receiver 3 as a rookie behind 2 really good wide receivers is that they know what to do against NFL corners. All you need to do is ask; they'll tell you. And I already think they're already teaching him. So
Yeah, it
you know, I
reminds me of how JSN was last year.
Yeah, so he's probably
Hmm.
gonna have some struggle. But yeah, I'm not really expecting him to be offensive rookie of the year just because we have another rookie that should win it over our own receiver. So that if
Yeah, I
so,
agree.
yeah.
I think Marvin could have a high chance to do something, but the quarterback is more popular typically to get an award. But I could also see Marvin being a top three rookie just because I feel like he could make an instant impact on an underrated offense. Like the Cardinals when Kyler was healthy were always a sleeper team, like in terms of offense. Like it actually kind of scares me next year. The NFC, every year I've said this, but the NFC West on paper always has the ability to be at least like really good. So, like one of the
Yeah, yeah.
better top three divisions in the NFL. I don't think over the North, the AFC North, and even the NFC North and AFCs could be better, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Man, I'm so excited for football. Um,
Same
yeah.
here, man. Is there any
Um,
guys you think that could be on the bubble for the Bears? Because I have a few for the Seahawks.
the bubble being good.
Like on the roster, like bubble on the like as in like fuck. Am I saying this right? I don't know. Like I saw this thing recently from Seahawks Orbit of three guys who were on the like bubble to be on or off the roster, like cut or versus
Mm,
kept, and that's what I mean.
we'll probably say Dante Pettis. Hopefully, Vales Jones, because honestly, I really don't like him. Um, Probably Mercedes Lewis, but then again, I feel like we should keep him tight end three, like just his veteran presence. I think would really help, and he's a good run blocker. So I think he's on the ball. I think it's probably those three. If you ever think it's Dante Pettis, Valus Jones, and um uh okay, I do not know why my brain is not braining right now, but yeah,
I know how it
Mercedes
is.
Lewis. Mercedes Lewis, yeah. So
Yeah,
those three.
yeah, that's true.
And Tyler Scott, be he should be in our receiver core. He probably is. He's still really young. I didn't like him last year, but mind you, he was a fourth, fifth round rookie, so I should probably take it easy on him. Although he kind of did cost us in a couple moments. He kind of was a terrorist. Um,
I see. I
but
mean,
um,
okay.
but
So
yeah,
yeah.
Tyler Scott's not on the bubble in my opinion. I think he's guaranteed to be our like wide receiver 5 or 4. Um, oh, that punter, no, dude, man, our special teams should be really good. If our offense doesn't do good, then I'll just rely on the defense and special teams because our defense was ranked number ninth last year or number eight, like around that range, and they added to it. They added Kevin Byard, who he's kind of old and he's kind of regressing a little bit, but he's better than Eddie Jackson. He's gonna make more tackles, and you have a guy like Jaquan Brisker that is really good. So you don't even have to worry about taking the full workload. And then
Wait, which guy?
Jaquan Brisker. I'm saying
Oh,
like Kevin
okay.
Kevin Byard doesn't have to be worry about necessarily doing it all as a safety because he's a little old and he's gonna regress a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I would say you
he's
guys
still
keep
better
him.
than Eddie Jackson. He's still better than Eddie Jackson and um
Oh, dude, I
yeah.
remember he was getting
So
flamed after that Packers Week 1 game.
dude, he's literally cannot make a tackle to save his life. I mean,
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
literally
Okay,
like it's so
uh,
frustrating.
here's the four guys that Seahawks Orbit listed. So running back Kenny McIntosh, we drafted him last year in the seventh round out of Georgia. Outside linebacker Darrell Taylor, wide receiver Dwayne Eskridge, and OT Stone Forsythe. My thoughts on this are I think Kenny McIntosh, his job is very safe because he was injured last year and he's entering his second year. I do get we have a talented running back group, but he could be good on kick returns if Eskridge doesn't work out. And like
Yeah.
again, he's just a rookie, or not a rookie. He almost is going into his rookie year because he hasn't even played. We didn't even get a real sample size of him
He's
yet.
he's really young. He's really young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we haven't even seen him play yet. So, and some Seahawks fans are excited to see him. So there's that. Darrell Taylor, maybe I would try to keep him, but I will say this: the because I get it, Boye Mafe and Uchenna should start over him, but I think Darrell Taylor is still not terrible. He always has potential. I'm not entirely I mean he'll get you like he had 9.5 and 6.5 sacks in 2021, 2022. He had a bit of a he had only 5.5 this past year, but he did have more assists and combined tackles. So I don't think he's necessarily like that much of a terrible guy to keep. And also the next one's Dwayne Eskridge. He took a veteran minimum. I think for like kick returning, he acknowledges he's on a prove it year. I would say give him a chance. He took a pay cut already. I will say we never should have drafted him. He got drafted over freaking Amon-Ra St. Brown. And on top of that, we could have had Creed Humphrey, which pisses me off so much. And then lastly, Stone Forsythe. I would say Stone Forsythe's the top guy. He just because we have a lot of depth at that position. So I would say Stone Forsythe out of those four guys is most likely to go. I would say though, try to keep the other three. I think the other three are useful / we can see what they have. And then Kenny McIntosh, we just straight up haven't seen anything, so I don't really know why he'd be on the bubble. But yeah, that's my opinion on him. Oh, you're on mute, man.
That was a bozo moment. No, I said like with McIntosh, it's kind of like what we're dealing with Tyler Scott. Now with Tyler Scott's probably a little worse because when he played, he kind of made some terrorist moves, as a player. Um,
I mean, he
on the
technically
field.
can't be worse because Kenny's never played.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's well, yeah. But at least you didn't see any bad things from Kenny McIntosh, even though you didn't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, there probably is some footage and people who know way more than me because he's definitely been suited up in training camp, but I know almost nothing. I mean, off rip, he seems like he could be a really good like elusive back, but my only concern is compared to Zach Charbonnet and K9, he has almost no power probably compared to them. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I think
Charbonnet.
yeah. I remember the iconic Panthers play Charbonnet trucks a man. Like, oh my God. Dude, I remember people were kind of shitting on that pick, and now everyone loves him. Like, it was the same with Kenneth Walker, but that one was more justified because we didn't know Chris Carson was pretty much going to retire. I miss him, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that's probably gonna do it for us. This meeting's about to end, but it's been good being back. And
It's oh man, the Hall of Fame game is in 16 days. 16 days. Bears Texans
oh
might be
yeah,
the greatest
baby.
preseason game of all time.
I know, right?
Bears will tie 42-42.
Sheesh.
Be
Yeah,
the
I'm
greatest
excited,
preseason game we've ever seen. Let's go.
bro. I just want something back. I'll take the Bears
Let's
Panthers
go.
game. All right, all
Yes,
right.
sir.
See
All
you guys.
right, see you
Bye.
guys.